The push letters are all capital because it stands for pray until something happens. I am not a prayer, nor am I like religious or anything like that, but I just thought it was a really fitting name, like really simple. So pray until something happens. My name's Oba Jackson. I am the owner of Push Tattoo Studios in Wilmington, Delaware. We have had this shop for 7 years and all are welcome. I define my style as neo-traditional, like if I look at it from a tattooing standpoint, because it has all the same ingredients. I just like to stay within my culture. I don't like to say African or like Afro-American. I say Black American because I think of the things that we created in this country when we got here. I use things from Africa, like jewelry and stuff like that, because I do think that is part of our heritage, but I do mostly like to focus on Black Americana. So like all the things that we developed when we came here, long braids, long fingernails, gold chains. I like to stay in those kind of things. Now, also, I'm a portrait artist. You got a family member, I can do a portrait of them. Black, white, Asian, whatever they are. I don't mind doing that. When people come to me and ask for like what I do, I like to keep it in the realm of Black Americana. So this piece, I put it here because Black bodies always make people feel so uncomfortable. And I don't think anything is uncomfortable about this image at all. So when people come in here, they literally have stopped, have taken their phones out. I watch people take pictures of it from outside and they're like so shocked. But I'm like, what is different than this? Than you seeing some twig laying on a thing? Like nothing is different here. Beautiful woman, smiling, happy, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. I don't know exactly how I developed my style. I pull from places that I love. Growing up, my stepdad really was in love with Grace Jones. Everything that like Jean-Paul Goode did with Grace Jones. Growing up, I always thought I just loved Grace Jones. And then when I got older, my stepdad got me a book of Jean-Paul Goode. It was him that I loved, and then them working together, like their collaboration. So there's little parts of that in everything that I do because I was so young when I was influenced by it. But then as I got older, my mom was really into like all this Black artwork. One of my brother's friends had this comic book collection that he gave me when I was a kid. It had a girl in there and she had like these like arrow powers that came out of her hand, and that never have left my brain. So if you look around here, it's like a little section of it and probably everywhere you go. It's just all about Blackness and finding the beauty in Blackness. I just love my culture and I love my people so much, and I just always want other people to understand how I see it. So that's why I paint the things that I paint. This one right here is really important to me. Every single person in my family has one in their house too. This is my sister who passed away, and she was my biggest fan. So I make sure that every day when I come to work, I make sure she see me in here and I make sure she see me at home. So it's one by our door before we leave out the house. And then it's one down here that I make sure I can walk past and see her all the time. That's probably my most important one to my heart is this one. Oh, I'm not gonna cry. Every time I talk about it, I get cry. This is one of my favorite pieces. I was really obsessed with Zimbabwean cowboy culture. My mom used to always say, I'm so glad I got a chocolate set. She's like, I just wish you was so black you was blue. I just really appreciate like the highlights and the tone. I have a nephew named Terrell and I use his face for inspiration of that one. So I just drew that one from scratch. I literally used house paint and some other kind of red paint that was not for paintings. I did his hair with markers, and then I think the flowers and the gold hoop are all with like actual traditional painting, like paint, like acrylic. That one right there, I used a collage of faces. So I collaged a bunch of things together and made that face, and then I did that painting. I think I painted this when I was like 20, like in my 20s, and I'm 41 now. She's one of my favorites too. This is one of my friends, Akeen, and every time everybody sees this one, they ask me, oh, is that you, Oba? And I go, we don't all look alike because that one is me. I did this when I was 19. This is my oldest niece. I stopped painting for a long time because when I was painting when I was younger, it was like I was painting for other people instead of myself. So I feel like those paintings don't represent me very well. But whenever I see this one, I feel like everything about this one represents me. Her skin tone, her bathing suit, the color blocking, the afro pick, her hair texture, like all these things are 100% me. That's why I keep this one here. So I'll never forget like, oh, but this is what you do. And you just do what you do. Like stay in your lane, here it is, and that's it.